They call him Seatin, the man of legends.
Hey, what is up, boys and girls? It's Seatin here. Today we're going to be having a look at the Nightmare Coast, a new dungeon which is coming next week on August the 6th. It's Wednesday for North America and Thursday for Europe. It's really fucking cool, definitely one of the best dungeons that we've seen in quite. So this dungeon gives you a bit of prelude lore to the expansion that is coming out sometime later this year. And the kind of story of this dungeon, Infinity Gate is opening in Shimmersand, some baddies are trying to get through, and that shit is bad and we need to stop it. So, you kind of start off the dungeon, you're working your way through Shimmersand, kind of like the marketplace. There's a variety of different trash mobs to kill, so you've got these big, kinda Matron Zamira things from Hammernail, and you have to like use this reactive on them to get like the little ones out, and then you just AoE them all down. Our group's really fucking overgeared for this. Literally, we all have raid gear, so everything goes down like super fast. Halfway through the dungeon run, I'm like, guys, seriously, everything's dying too fast. We kind of, and then I got a couple of the more geared people to just unequip like half their gear to make it a bit more of a challenge, as this is intended for, I believe, kind of like fresh, expert geared, kind of level 60 players. I don't really think it really has an intended difficulty, but it's kind of on the equivalent level of an expert dungeon. That's kind of the level that you're looking at. For the difficulty of this dungeon, I'd say it's much harder than a lot of the expert dungeons. In this video, we will make it look like a piece of piss, because we have like tier 2 and tier 3 raid gear. So yeah, just as a bit of a heads up for you guys. So also, the one that we're finding at the moment is a channeler. You just kill that, AoE down the ads. That one's pretty damn straightforward. Nothing too exciting to that. There were the other mobs patrolling around where you have to interrupt them a couple of times or they do bad stuff. And then you get to the first boss. So the first boss is called Hideout Ifral. I don't know if I've said that right, but, you know, whatever. I'm not too good at these names. So he has a variety of moderately interesting mechanics that I think players may struggle a bit with. So as you can see, he'll go big occasionally and put a shield on himself. While he's big, he does like stupid amounts of increased damage. So somebody, aka me in this video, has to purge that. You'll see I've got a purple bubble on me. This drops an AoE after a few seconds, which you just want to kind of like get out of the middle of the room so nobody is regularly affected by it. And the last thing going on is there are going to be orbs that kind of link between the orb and the boss, and between that link there's going to be a laser, and anybody standing between the laser, while standing between the orb and the boss, aka on the laser, will take a shit ton of damage, and that includes the tank. So that one is fairly easy. As I said, we were super overgeared for this. We made it look like a piece of piss. The loot that drops in this dungeon is not very good. It's the equivalent to like expert gear. There aren't any like super amazing drops that I've seen, so if you're looking for a gear farm, this really isn't the place, but I can see how it will act for future players as a nice way to gently progress into 3.0 content, because this is intended to be like the first dungeon of 3.0, and for us it's like a lore prelude. So after you've defeated the first boss, and all the trash is dead of course, you go down to kind of like the kind of main merchant area, where you fight the second boss, which is my favourite boss of the dungeon, the Shade of Achilles. Like, a 5-man Achilles, I've been waiting for this for fucking years. It is such a decent model, and I'm really happy that everyone will get to see him 5-mans now. So that's pretty cool. This boss itself is my favourite boss of the dungeon. So he has quite a few different mechanics. The first one you'll notice is there are waves going across the boss area, and that will continue throughout the fight. The waves deal about 10 to 12k damage if you get hit by them. So that is a lot of damage for a dungeon in an expert mechanic, especially if you somehow derp and get hit by 2. That's a one-shot for sort of the new, freshly geared players who this dungeon will be intended for. So I'm very excited to see that level of punishment being added to expert dungeons. I do love that. Another thing you'll notice is that he will be chucking down blocks of ice throughout the fight. Now, similar to the first boss in AP, if anybody remembers that from the original Rift, he's occasionally going to do a line of sight mechanic. He's doing it now, actually. He's unleashing the power of the sea, and if you're not behind one of these, then you will get one shot and die. So it's really, really fun. Another couple of mechanics he does is he spawns lashes and tentacles of Achilles. Like on a normal boss kill, you can just ignore these, but we thought we'd kill them to see what they did, and they didn't really do anything. So I think the standard tactic will just be to ignore them, or possibly quickly AoE them down. I'll have to play around with that a bit more. Apart from that, the tank will also get like a kind of mind insanity debuff or something, and they have to go around collecting little orbs. Unfortunately, because this wasn't from tank perspective, you can see that, but if the tank doesn't collect like I believe it's like 3 to 5 orbs in 15 seconds, then they go crazy, get mind controlled, and then that pretty much wipes the raid. So that's pretty much the only tank mechanic, but it's a pretty cool one at that. And then you work your way up to sort of the upward overarching barrier bridge over Shimmersand, and there's some pretty damn nasty trash here. You have this one which drops all these pulsating AoEs, which deal about 9k damage a second if you're standing in them, so people that are standing in them will get fucked pretty damn quickly. Then you have this guy is just fucking brutal. He drops big pools of lava, and if you stand in the lava for more than like 1 or 2 seconds, you're gonna die because that lava hits so damn hard. It's just ridiculous. I believe one of the other DPS clerics in the group on the next pool will just get absolutely wrecked by that lava, and that's what happens. So the trash up here is pretty damn lethal in comparison to some of the trash that we've had like throughout the Storm Legion expansion. The trash doesn't really do much in most of sort of the expert content at the moment. I mean, there are a few unique mobs here and there, like an Imperium core, but it's nice to see quite a lot of difficulty and unique stuff being added to the trash. Like, if you don't move out of this shit, you're gonna die. GG, buddy. You have fun. So, moving our way over to like the Shimmersand prison or flat yard or whatever you want to call it, and this is the third boss. This guy's pretty damn cool. I believe this, if any boss is going to be like the barrier for groups, this one is, because it's a bit of a pain in the ass initially. But once you get the mechanics down, it's fine. So everybody needs to be spread out, because he's going to cast like this really big fucking AoE, which you have like 2 seconds to react to. So you want all your DPS and healers spread out, like somebody taking the middle, and then somebody taking like north, south, east, west, etc. So he's going to spawn tears throughout the fight that look like kind of the rift tears that you'll encounter in the open world. And you need to kill these pretty damn fast, or they're going to spawn these really, really annoying ads. Sort of sub 50%, I think the standard tactic will be on live, just to fucking ignore the tears. This is the spread out mechanic that I was talking about. If anybody is stacked up, they just get absolutely fucking wrecked. So you do need to ensure that your group's spread out, and kind of, you know, spread out from the start. So if the healer in the middle, range DPS each take 1, tanks over there, the boss cleaves. This fight really does hate melee. So yeah, if you're running a melee DPS on this, I mean, you can do it with a bit of positional adjusting. You'll just need the melee to like quickly divert back to the middle, and then maybe position the healer at either like the left or right side of the boss. As you can see, sort of sub 30%, he goes fucking crazy on these tears. I don't know why I'm really nuking him down at the moment. You know, it was one of our first runs in here, so we didn't really understand the tactics. But yeah, it's just, you'll see all the ads coming out and just going on and raping people. They're not dealing too much damage, actually. But then again, Desden over our tank is, he's got almost like 100k as a warrior. So, you know, he's geared to the teeth. So once you have defeated that guy, then it is time to go to like the base of the Infinity Gate in the Shimmersand flat yard. So we're just heading across the bridge there now. I decided to cut out all the trash because it's trash that you've essentially seen before. So the last boss, in a way, is quite unique. So you've got like all these cultists across the room, and they're like sacrificing or channeling some sort of energy into the Infinity Gate to try and bring down Lord Iraq, who's one of sort of the main protagonists of the Rift 3.0 expansion, which you'll learn more about in like the coming months, etc. So after you've killed the first one, Lord Iraq will come down, and the camera angle and vision goes really fucked up at this point. Literally, you're on dynamic camera. So he will target one person and chase them randomly. If you get close to him at all, he will start casting like a big cleave, which will pretty much kill anybody nearby. So the person that is kiting him has to be fairly swift in realizing, oh shit, the boss is targeting me, and then run away from him, or you're just gonna get fucked pretty damn quickly with him. You're also gonna wanna, if you're like anybody but the tank, you need to actively position yourself to not be where a cultist spawns, because our healer, Leah Devar, is right next to one of the cultists during the next time it spawns, so it turns into this ghost, just one-shots him, and then we're left without a healer for the rest of the fight, which is always really good fun. But luckily, we're fucking geared to the teeth. We didn't really need a healer, but this is going to be a really fun fight for Pugs. I can't wait. So there are also some little rifts that spawn. Those need to be killed quickly, but after you defeat that all, Lord Iraq, he doesn't have a chance to come to this world and get sucked back up into the Infinity Gate. GG, we have saved Talara, and then we have to wait till 3.0 before we can continue his story, go to the plane of water and beat his ass down. So guys and girls, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Nightmare Coast coming next week. It's going to be pretty fucking cool. I'm excited for it. Take care and have a wonderful day.